There it is. Elder abuse suspect. There it is. Finally got it. Very slow on the freeway. What is going on? 1 minute, copy all. You know how to bring a pursuit to an end? Just bring SkyFOX in. Here comes the pit. Here comes the pit. Oh. Here comes another pit. Don't do it under the thing. Slow down. Don't. What are you doing? Oh, he's playing with them. Hey there, we're actually following a pursuit. It's LAPD. Rep, that's the 10 freeway westbound coming up in the Santa Monica area, and we're going to be right about at the end here at Pacific Coast Highway. I was just looking over. The stuttering was because I saw that you didn't have our picture there for a second. They're going to be underneath the tunnel there. They're going to come out the other side, hopefully in just a second. But again, they are definitely trying to bring this thing to an end. They said stolen vehicle for a little bit, but then they also said that this is a possible elderly abuse suspect driving that vehicle. Then that's the reason why they're trying to pull him over. I don't know if there's an elderly person in that vehicle, but I can definitely tell you from what we were seeing before we went live that this driver of this pickup truck definitely playing with the officers, meaning slowing down on purpose, letting them get close, then kind of speeding up, just doing weird things. And again, this is not a good thing to watch, because when these suspects do these type of maneuvers, it kind of gives you an idea what kind of mentality they have, and that could lead to a very unfortunate ending. Right now you get an idea of all the officers, and again, a lot of stop and a lot of go. That's what we were talking about. There he did it once again. Now LAPD, they've got a number of officers behind it. There might be some California Highway Patrol also, and Santa Monica, because this is technically in the Santa Monica area. But right now, back on the Pacific Coast Highway, if you ever drive this, you know pretty much it's going to dump you back onto the 10. There is an opportunity to take some side streets. He was driving through Santa Monica before we got here. We'll see where he goes in just a moment or two. You know, the officers get really close, and they've been trying to do these pit maneuvers, and that driver of the truck has been driving slow, and then when they get really close, then he'll speed up. He's basically been playing with the officers. I don't think the LAPD rear-ended, or he actually made contact with that suspect in that way. Now that we're on this side of it, we might be able to get a better look up, of course, and figure you want to do something in SkyFOX as soon as you want to do it. He had the window down. Oh, he still does have the window down. I thought he brought the window up. There he goes. He's been just kind of lazily putting his hand out. He's been doing gestures, not the gesture that you're thinking of. You know, basically waving the cops off, waving the cops in. And again, crazy maneuver right there. You just saw it. Moved all the way over, trying to get over to the, now getting off the freeway. It's again, I really believe that this person is playing with those officers, and that is not a good thing at all, because, you know, when these things come to an end, law enforcement, they have guns, and it just, you know, and when the suspect has this kind of playful, almost, you know, encouraging the officers to be more aggressive, it's just not a good thing. Now, LAPD, believe me, they are professionals, consummate professionals. Now you can see him kind of taking off again. Speed's getting a little bit higher, back onto the 10 freeway. This is basically the area that this vehicle, this chase, has been in since we left Van Nuys. He's gotten off the freeway a couple of times, but always made his way back over to the 10. Definitely, and and if there is somebody in there and that person has a voice, meaning like, basically like, hey, why are you doing this? Can we bring this to an end? Maybe they can reach over, grab this, push the start/stop button, or do something to bring this to an end. The fact that again, I'm waiting for the assignment desk to confirm. Maybe they can tell you, but I definitely heard the words elderly abuse suspect is what this person is wanted for, and that is just disturbing in itself. And again, we don't know the circumstances, but there is always that possibility now that there might be an elderly person in that vehicle with them. It gets really twisted and really ugly. Getting back off the freeway here, looks like we're going to be, I'm not really sure, I was going to say Pico, but it's the Pico district area, making that turn right there, getting onto 34th Street. And again, LAPD, they're doing what they can, lights and sirens. They did back off, go into tracking, but they re-engaged it, and I think that was when the additional information came out about what that suspect is wanted for. And so you can see the helicopter in the air, you've got units on the ground, and they're definitely lights and sirens, so folks on the road know what's going on. But you saw they're being aggressive. They want to bring this thing to an end. They've tried to pit this vehicle a couple of times. Hopefully they'll be able to do this and nobody will be hurt. Yeah, and taunting is really, I think that's one of the best words. It is basically that driver is encouraging those officers and then, and luring them in and then making moves that contradict it. I wonder if they're going to continue to try to do that pit maneuver. Clearly this vehicle, has some extra stability. Maybe there's something in the bed that we don't see. You can see the rear bumper. That's from the multiple pit maneuvers or attempts. It has moved the rear end, but not enough to get it to spin around, and maybe that might be because it's been going too slow. That is actually part of it, one of the things as well. So right now, though, you can see it. I don't have to tell you, Pico District, we're on the surface streets out here. Speed slowing down, but this aggressive, weird driving of like quick U-turns, accelerating and then stopping. LAPD, they have not backed off, so there's lights and sirens, so the folks down there do know, and I'm just getting wider and wider of a shot because I'm trying to get a number of officers that are behind it. There is a significant amount of LAPD behind this person, and again, that might be because of that, what we believe this person to be a wanted for elder abuse. Not the profane one that we're used to seeing from some of these suspects. He's just kind of, lazily got his hand out the window. It looks like he's pointing right now. Maybe he's like, I'm going to make a turn, or maybe he was pointing at somebody. But it just seems to be like almost relaxed, almost, lackadaisical. Like, yeah, you're chasing me. You can go do what you want, but I'm going to just keep on driving. That's what it feels like, watching those gestures and the driving of that suspect. LAPD, though, they're taking this very, very differently. I definitely have the scanner up right now, and I can hear the chatter. They want to bring this thing to an end. They are doing what they can to, maybe we're going to see some spike strips, but they have to get ahead of the vehicle, and they have to be able to deploy them safely. And with this driver, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's very just, yeah, I'm going for a ride, and I'm daring you to try to bring me to a stop. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And definitely, I would say that maybe That's the best we can never really say. Yeah. Yeah, definitely very weird. I don't. Yeah, I hope not. Yeah, definitely the fist pump. Definitely the fist pump. Yeah, maybe he's got the maybe he's got our app up and he's hearing us talk right now. Yeah, he's definitely taunting. I'm just hoping that there is nobody else in that vehicle. That is probably the concern for everybody involved, and of course LAPD as well. But and and now. Younger guy, yeah, definitely a younger guy, and now I'm just hearing straight code 37. That's cop shop talk for stolen vehicle. So maybe it is that's just a straight stolen vehicle. Whatever the deal is right now, they definitely want this thing to stop. I kind of want it to stop too, especially when you're on these surface streets. We're not doing 70 miles an hour down these little side streets, and. I hear our TOC, but hang on one second. Just give me a few moments, ladies, and I will be back with you in just a second. Okay. Yep. Yep. There we go. Well, welcome to Santa Monica. Yeah, they're going to make those streets as tight as possible for vehicles. But anyway, that's something for Alec to talk about, not me. But you can see him now. He's got his hat off, and he's basically just kind of going for a slow drive. LAPD, they've got different plans. I do know that they are doing what they can. Maybe they're going to try to get some their ducks in a row, as it would be, and try something else. Ran a solid red right there. And LAPD slowed a little bit, made sure it was clear before they went. And as far as going slow, that's the thing. For a little bit he was going slow. Now we're going 70 down the center divider and cutting over. This is beyond erratic. This is basically still, I believe, taunting those officers. Not a good thing at all. And everything is lackadaisical until it's not. And that's really what the biggest concern is. Somebody could just be driving, doing their whatever, and that truck clearly heavy. They can't do those pits. And we just don't want to see it collide with a vehicle, and heaven forbid, a pedestrian. Well, the higher speeds are the reasons why they can't do it. There's like a sweet spot with not every, but most of the agencies have their own protocol. Like, we can do it at this speed, we can't do it. And I actually think, because we saw it on the freeway a couple of times, I think he was going too slow. And that's the reason why. There we go. We're going over the center divider. He's definitely making use of the truck. But those Explorers, they can handle a curve. There's no doubt about that. Went over the curb, coming back the other way right now, and also slowing down, basically taunting the officers. Are they going to try to do that pit maneuver again? I don't know. This would be an okay spot. Well, there might be something down, or maybe the fact that it failed a couple of times already, so they're just like, it might not be the best way to do it, but the spike strips, That could be a possibility. It's just they got to get ahead of it, and now in making that U-turn, that's gonna put a fly in their ointment. But you know what? They've got more than one other officer, so maybe another officer will get up ahead, and they'll be able to throw out those spike strips right at the ultimate moment. Yeah. And you kind of, uh, it could be. Usually there's a little bit more of a like bucking, you know, with the vehicle, but there he goes. He's literally taunting these officers. Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, some people might say, jump, yeah, right. And, you know, some people, they'll say, well, why don't they get a cop car and block them in? Well, if they block them in and then the suspect does gun it and there is an injury involved, then they, you know, the lawyers, they love to look at things in a different light, and they'll say, well, why did you put yourself in harm's way? And so, armed, yep, yep. Definitely not out of gas yet. So, there doesn't seem to be. It's got some really nice tint on there, that is for sure. See what we can make happen here, but yeah, it almost looks like they've got like something in the center, like a cup, like they're using the cup holder, but the window just seems to be too dark. And again, now stopping by a trash truck for, you know, what reason? I just don't know. But LAPD, they're gonna keep with it. I can almost guarantee you that. They're not gonna just let this thing go. And just so you guys know, when this thing started, they did go into tracking mode for a little bit. They were in tracking mode for a little bit and then re-engaged the pursuit, and they have not gone back to tracking mode. So something must have changed. Some information must have been passed down to supervisors, and so that's the reason why they are continuing on with the pursuit portion of this. Definitely, and I just know, I just saw it in the corner of my eye. He just drove by one of our live trucks down there. So we do have people on the ground as well, close by. So if this thing does come to an end, hopefully we'll be able to have a camera on the ground and maybe some more information. You know, the officers might be, it looks like we're going to do another pit, another pit, another pit, another pit. Oh! Yeah, something about it. It could be the tires. It could be the tires. It could, and I guess we're going to go for another one. Another one. No, a little bit too fast. There we go, there. Did he? I don't know if he did. That was the spike strip. You think he avoided it? Yeah. He went around it. Yep. We got the referee in my ear, Lisa. She said that definitely went around it. Did no contact, no contact. Yeah. So, but this is frustrating. I have to say it is frustrating. I can imagine what the officers are feeling right now. The fact that they are staying a testament for LAPD, and like you said, it seems like that for as far as doing the pit maneuver, they have to make sure that there are no other people around, no other cars going in any other directions. It has to be a certain way for them to do it. And as far as it not being able to spin it around, I would venture to say it is those beefy tires that are just a lot of traction. There's a lot of traction right there because we've seen officers pit, stake trucks in the past, which is basically a pickup truck with a flatbed on it, and it spun around no problem whatsoever. And talking about spinning around, there you go, another U-turn out here, and we're still in the Santa Monica area. But LAPD, they have not handed it over. I'm sure Santa Monica is nearby and offering assistance if they need it. But LAPD, they got their helicopter, they got their cars, and they've got other units clearly in the area. So maybe we'll see another spike strip, maybe, hopefully, and hopefully it'll work. I mean, gosh only knows. And the LAPD above it, they're doing a fantastic job making the calls down there and trying to keep their officers and other officers informed on locations and where this vehicle is going. I'm going to go with option 2. Jen, I'm going to pick option 2. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, option 2. This guy, I have a feeling he doesn't care. And I'm not sure if it was Roxy or Sandra that said it just moments ago. It's like the most dangerous is when you've got nothing to lose, And if this person feels like he has nothing to lose, yeah, stop and go and just taunting those officers. Yes. Come on. Yep, definitely. You'd think that this is where it would come to an end because it's a SkyFOX deal. There, underneath a tree. There you go. And he's making those moves again. But still, 24 miles an hour for the most part, really slow, joining some major traffic, running that red stop sign right there, and just going through LAPD. The lights and sirens might be helping. It's like when you're driving, and I know, you hear lights and sirens, you instantly kind of look around like, where's that coming from? So maybe you're just getting your foot off the gas. Yep, definitely. Yeah, and that all the damage on the rear bumper is the pit maneuver. There's no doubt about that. He definitely rolled up the rear window, and I would venture to say there is nobody in the passenger seat. That's what I'm kind of doing right now. Is I'm just kind of peeking around down there to see if there's anybody in the passenger seat. I would venture to say no. I don't know if Lisa is listening right now, but yeah, I don't either. Nope. That's the first time I saw the door open. That's a first. That's a first. Yeah, he's definitely voicing his concern to the officers. This is one of those times I wish we had a microphone. I wish we really could hear what they're saying down there. You got Less Than Lethal coming around the corner right there, and I saw them all running, so I was like going to say, I know he's on the go again. And there he goes, continuing to drive. So definitely, that was the first time we really saw that suspect, and you could tell just by his gestures and the fact that he was shouting at the officers. He's definitely taunting them. And you know how this is going to come to an end, that the best way is just that he's going to go into cuffs and they're going to take him into custody. Hopefully there's going to be no injuries and or, bent metal other than the suspect's rear bumper from all those attempted pits. Yeah, I got it now. Got it now. It is, and they you know, everything's got to be right because, and it also, I'm just calling it like it is. Everything has to be right because if something goes wrong, the officer might be held liable or the department might be held liable. So those officers, they got to make sure that everything is in the right place for them to do it properly, so that there is no repercussions if something goes wrong. And that's just being part of law enforcement. I'm getting some text from some other folks, and they're confirming the same thing that we heard. But now I'm just hearing code 37. I mean, I'm just hearing stolen. So, but I definitely got a text from somebody saying that they also heard elderly abuse suspect. So, you know, whatever it is, it's pretty twisted. Hopefully they're going to get this guy into custody. Nobody's going to get hurt. But it's Santa Monica seems to be, well, now we're in Venice, thank goodness. But it is definitely a lot of tight streets out here. I haven't seen a lot of pedestrians other than ones holding cell phones trying to get that video. But hopefully nobody gets injured, and the LAPD is going to bring this thing to an end peacefully. Again, though, it's like we kind of know that pit maneuver might not be the best way to do it. And the spike strips, well, they're going to continue to try. But this guy's definitely on the lookout for what's going on around him. He's definitely aware that that they're trying to bring that truck to a stop. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. The hazards? I have not seen the hazards on. If the hazards are on, yeah, that's new. Yeah, maybe accidentally bumped them, or maybe just realized that, hey, I'm a hazard. I'm not really sure, but they definitely, it's definitely something new. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just kind of waiting. Yeah, maybe the Prius will cut him off. It's always a Prius. Yeah. There you go. Making a turn right there, really slow, really slow, really slow. But yeah, definitely. What is this guy doing? Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People like very slow, very, very slow. And, you know, this is the thing, too. Someday we'll have one of those pursuits where we'll say, this is your standard pursuit, but this is not today. Yep, look at this. Oh. Oh. Yeah. He was messing around. He was. I didn't see the less than lethal come out. Yeah, he was just messing around. If we were wondering, now we have confirmation. Definitely taunting officers. There's no doubt about it. And I'm laughing because of the fact that we got the confirmation, not because he's taunting the officers. Don't get that wrong. But yeah, there you go. Doors are open once again. You'd think that they'd have the then less than lethal like right there. Yeah. Oh, geez, what are you doing? Yeah. Yep, they, and you know what? I mean, we have it on tape. We have it on tape. Yeah, and he threw that first punch. He definitely threw that first punch. So, yeah. So, assaulting an officer. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, We planned it that way. SkyFOX, you're welcome. Yep. Yeah. He's still being, yeah, he's going to say he's got an opinion, and he's definitely giving it to the officers. So, but yeah, like you said, best ending it could be. Nobody's hurt. Yep. Yep. Hey, you guys, it was a good spotting stew today, guys. I appreciate it. Yep. Yep. See ya. Lisa, I tried to bring you into the whole thing. I tried to bring you in. I called you the referee. I called you the ref. I called you the ref. Unsafe. No. Is it a brush fire? 5 freeway Templin. That got into the brush.